Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about something that it's a double-edged sword. So I always taught my kids to be, aware of who they are and to embrace it and their differences and not to worry so much about what people think. However, there's also an important factor, and that is where there are social etiquette type rules, if you will, that we all need to conform to. For example, you can't wear your underwear in public. Wish we could some days when it's really, really hot, but it's just not acceptable, right? You should not go to the bathroom outside, even if it's an emergency in front of other people. There's just certain things we just don't do. And so anyway, I got to thinking about that because as our kids get older, there are certain things that we require of them. Like hygiene is a big, big deal, especially as they get to the teenage years. But there are certain things like the way we dress, the way we act, the way we just, the first impression that we give people is a very important thing. And so even though our kids eventually are going to stand out one way or the other, be it the way that they act, they talk, or maybe their appearance, it's important to really help our children find out who they are, but at the same time teach them some of those social rules that they'll eventually have to conform to, whether we want to or not, right? And so some of the things that came to my mind today as I was thinking about what to say, to share with you. I remember there was a time when my oldest wanted to wear jackets all the time, whether it was 100 degrees outside, whether it was 0 degrees, it didn't matter. He always wore a jacket. And I always wondered, are you hot? Are you hot in that thing? But that was his security blanket. That jacket that he wore was like a security blanket for him. And it helped him, right? And so that was one of those little things that I was like, it was mentioned to me by various people. And I was like, it's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of people that do that wear certain clothing, whatever, because of the way that it feels or whatever. That wasn't such a big deal. However, if your child decides to wear the same shirt for 2 or 3 days in a row, then there's a problem with that, because the first thing is it's not going to be clean, right? It's eventually going to smell, no matter how much deodorant you put on, it's going to smell. The second thing is that, because you're going to laugh at this, but my kids found loopholes. They would buy, like my number 2, would buy 4 or 5 of the same shirt, same color, same style, everything. And so I couldn't tell if it was clean or not because it was the same shirt. And so he did that recently as an adult. And so I told him, I said, and he says, they're clean. And I would smell them, and sure enough, they were clean. Like they smelled like they just came out of the laundry clean. And so I told him, I said, I'm glad and I appreciate the fact that you love this shirt and that you have found a way to wear it without having to wear the same shirt over and over. I appreciate that very much. However, when people see you wearing the same shirt, they're going to assume that it's the same shirt. And they're going to assume that you haven't bathed or that you haven't done your laundry in a while. And so you might consider getting different colors of the same shirt or at least, rotating. Yes, my dog is crying in the background, if you can hear her or not. I don't know what her deal is. But anyway, and so anyway, that was just, it was an interesting situation. I can come up with so many other stories to share with you guys. But in the end, I think it's important to tell your child that you love them, you accept them, but that you love them so much that you don't want them to go into this cruel world where people don't really understand, they don't know them, and they were gonna likely judge or say something. And so to prevent them, to keep them from having to go through that, you're going to have to sometimes maybe hurt their feelings. And so I would much rather do it as a mother in a loving way than to have your child go in public and have it done by a total stranger or in a not so loving way, right? So those are just my thoughts. As always, good luck on your journey, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.